Hello everybody, it is Rager here with my good old pal Nightmare.
What is up, everybody?
Today we are going to be talking about our predictions for E3 2014, which starts tomorrow, by the way. E3 is an electronic video game basically showing off like new video games and upcoming stuff. So it's a very, very fun time for us gamers, and we like to celebrate.
It's always one of the biggest events out of the year.
Yeah, it's like next to PAX East and all that stuff. It's really cool. But anyways, we just like to talk about some of the games we have predicted to come out, and some of the stuff that we expect to be there.
Consider we're gonna be some of the first people actually being able to upload some of these videos, because most of the bigger YouTubers are at E3.
Yeah, we're too poor for plane tickets.
Actually, if you're really big on YouTube, sometimes they'll let you in there for free. They'll like send you plane tickets and everything to go for publicity stunts and such. But one day we'll get that, Ryan.
One day. All right, so why don't you start it off, because you have the list of stuff that you have on the back there.
Okay. First of all, we want to talk a little bit more about Shadows of Mordor.
Yes, Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, a video game coming out this year. At October 7th, 2014 has been the confirmed release date. And they have already came out with the trailer for the E3 trailer, a CGI type thing. And they've already came out with one for the game, so there's really not much to talk about. I don't really think that they're going to be showing very much off of the game at the actual convention, but
still gonna be there. We released a video a while back explaining our thoughts and predictions and such from watching a few of the trailers. Some more mechanics were released, but it's nothing very big.
Yeah, I mean, they showed off a few more things, like Talion being able to like pull a spiritual bow out of midair, but nothing really that big coming out.
This is one I really wished to talk about here. Pokemon. The new ones, I think it's Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, or the other way around, Alpha Ruby and Omega Sapphire. I believe the first was correct. Sorry if I'm getting a little bit back from here.
I think you're
The terrain, I wish to talk about, because considering it's the same exact map, it's the same exact story as it used to be, but now it's going to be remade. Hopefully they're going to add new terrain. Like for the Sapphire, they're going to add a little bit more land than water, so that whenever you catch Kyogre, it'll go back to the original area and placement. Or for Ruby, they'll add a lot more water, so whenever you catch Groudon, it'll actually even out. And in the end of the game, you'll have the same exact map design in both games. But it'll also make the story, which is my next thing, more compelling. Because if you want a good story that's going to be different from the originals, first of all, they're going to have a different story based, most likely, you can guess they're going to have a different story, because now they have Mega Evolutions, and Mega Evolution throws an entire twist inside of this huge line that you have here. It's going to completely twist up the entire game, and you're going to have a more compelling, more story that's just going to pull you in because of this Mega Evolution, because now there's a lot more threat into the game, as more than there was before. And they can really change up the storyline, the terrain. They can change up everything, which a few Mega Evolutions have already been confirmed, such as Kyogre and Groudon, which was really noticeable from the front covers and really told that it was going to be there, but it really just is so needed in this. Now, I'm not going to get too hung up on that, because still there is nothing really about the storyline or the terrain. The Mega Evolution has been announced. But the last thing I really wish to go into is their co-op mode. I mean, I've always wished that at least inside some areas I could have a friend run around with me, and we can catch Pokemon together, or we can go out and trade and hunt and whatever. But I mean, it's still not happened. It can. I mean, I believe. I'm not entirely too sure, but I'm pretty sure that they have the ability to be able to hook you up at least with one of your other friends. If not an entire party, and then just go at the game together, as you do inside the games with the NPCs. Why not just do that with a bunch of your friends and just hit the game together? I mean, you don't have to have every single other person in the world playing the game with you, and you run by them and you see them, and because then the entire game, it's gonna be slow. It's gonna be a complete nightmare, because it's not built for that kind of stuff. But I mean, if you just have like a party of your friends just being able to tackle the game with you, I think that'll make the game a lot more fun and enjoyable, and it'll keep it going. It'll keep the fun going for long after you beat the Elite Four.
Right. I don't really have much an opinion on Pokemon, because Pokemon, I mean, I love Pokemon games, but they're just, I mean, I'll probably play a Pokemon game whenever I'm bored and want to just do something fun, but they're not usually a game that I will buy when they first come out. I only did that with Pokemon Soul Silver.
Anyway, next on the agenda is Super Smash Bros. The new one.
Super Smash Brothers for the Nintendo Wii U and the Nintendo 3DS. They're two actually different games. Like, a lot of people were predicting that the 3DS version would just be a dumbed down version of the Wii U, but they're actually two different games. The 3DS version is set to come out sometime at the end of the summer, and the Wii U version hasn't really been confirmed when the release date is. Probably towards the end of the year, I'd assume.
There's a few things we wanted to get inside of, relative area of, which is basically the characters. They have announced a few new characters already, as well as a lot of the older characters, such as Mario and Link, who you already know is going to be in it. And some characters are missing, such as Yoshi. They predict that Yoshi is going to be missing from the roster, because not many people really use Yoshi, and while I find it a sad loss to lose Yoshi, I think it's needed. Just because he's not really much of a character that you really want to use anymore. But there's been new characters that have been announced recently, such as Palutena has not been fully announced, but there's so much out there, and just, you can already tell she's going to be in it. I mean, there's no really much of denying it anymore. Alongside Palutena, Little Mac has already been announced, along with the Wii Fit trainers and
the Animal Cross.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, the Animal Cross character.
And Mega Man, of course.
Yeah, and Mega Man. Mega Man was probably the first one to be announced, and everyone went bat crap crazy over it.
You could say bad words, it doesn't matter. But, yeah, plenty of new characters, plenty of old characters, of course. That's basically keeping the same roster as previous games. They're also having Lucario in there from Brawl, and there have been a lot of rumors going around that Mewtwo is going to be brought back from Super Smash Bros. Melee, and
I'd love to see, by the way. Mewtwo was always my dude.
Yeah, because everybody loved Mewtwo in Melee, so a lot of people have been predicting that he's going to be in one of the new Smash Bros. Games, which will be cool. I mean, I probably won't be getting Super Smash Brothers until I buy the other games that are coming out that I would like to buy a little bit more, but I definitely am looking forward to seeing other people play Smash Brothers and just playing it with other people. And of course, they're having the online functions for the 3DS, so you could play with people from across the world, or local, of course.
I hope they just don't screw it up like they did instead of a Monster Hunter's Try, where you have to have the Wii U there present to be able to play it. But considering they're both going to be two different games, I don't think that's going to be much of an issue.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to talk about was the static map design.
Yeah.
Because the other Super Smash Bros. Brawl kind of had it there, but it wasn't there. I feel like just because it's background, it still can do some damage. Like, one of my most noticeable was inside the Pokemon, the Big World Ruin area, where the Pokemon would appear at the top and they'd be able to cause damage to your character if you were standing in the wrong area. See, I like that, because that adds a whole new spin on the fight. Now, if you had that inside, I'm not saying all stages, but a lot of them, then it would, be able, it would throw a whole new twist on it. which they also did really right inside of the Nintendo 3D, inside the Nintendo chat room, which they had on Brawl 2, which was always one of my favorite stages.
Alright.
After that comes Assassin's Creed Unity, which I don't know if Ryan wants to add anything to this. This is probably going to be mainly me.
Here, can you talk about this real quick? I gotta go grab something real quick, so I'll be right back.
Hey, there's Ryan leaving the middle of his own video. Okay, so since I'm left here alone to talk about Assassin's Creed Unity with you, I might as well give you a nice little rundown over it. Co-op mode is now completely available inside of it. You can have up to 4 friends play with you on your actual online world, which is really big to me because they've been needing this for a while. And it looks like the game is actually kind of a little bit more heavily relying on co-op, because some places and some missions, I believe, are actually strictly for co-op, which really sucks if you can't do it, but a lot of people can. And that's really good, because Assassin's Creed needs to be a game where you can have co-op. Instead of NPCs helping you, I want my friends to help me. I want to be able to go through the entire sandbox realm area, do the main storyline, do side quests, and do everything with them, because that just makes it a lot more fun.
Yeah.
There are a whole bunch of new mechanics and such as sneaking around and everything, which is going to be nice, but I don't want to get into much of a detail for it here in case there's a video that I want to make later on about it. The online mode, I've always hated. I don't like the point to where you just run around and you pretend you're someone inside the crowd and then you have to sneak up behind them and kill them. I never liked the online mode. It was never really good to me. So I hope they do away with the online mode and just stick strictly to co-op, because that'd be very nice to me. To me. I don't believe many other people was really a very big fan of that online mode either. There seems to be some kind of character customization inside of it, considering that you can either have a male or a female character assassin, and they can be different colors and their suits, as they could inside the other games, but they seem to be also different heights, different looks, different builds, which is really nice. I mean, you really want to be able to make your assassin your own, then it's going to be really good to be able to do this. And alongside co-op, it'll make it really nice if you can have character customization. That way you can tell each other apart, and customization just works in almost any game. It's just nice and fun. The storyline's based during the French Revolution. That's all I'm going to go into there in case I do want to make a video. It seems like it's going to be a pretty good storyline. I mean, the Assassin's Creeds are always very historical, so I'm a very big history buff. And I'm gonna probably love playing the game, as I hope you all will too. But there's one big, huge problem. I won't be able to play the game until I get an Xbox One or a PS4 or Wii U, which Wii U is gonna be the one I'm gonna be getting. I'm not gonna get an Xbox 4 or an Xbox One or PS4 because those are just out of my league. I don't like them. They're bad to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the only systems it's coming out on. No Xbox 360. I'm very, very sorry to announce that. Anyway, let's continue on moving. This one I'm going to leave all up to Ryan because I don't know anything about it. I haven't even heard about it yet. The new Zelda games.
Ah, yes, the new Zelda games. Well, at not Wii U, at E3, I believe about 2012 maybe, they started showing off a new Zelda game with the demo of the Wii U before the Wii U actually came out. And apparently they're supposed to be showing a lot more Zelda. Dude, the echo's back on. Do you know if you could? Oh wait, never mind. It's gone. Okay, sorry about that. But they're showing off a lot more Zelda stuff this year at E3. Hopefully, it's gonna be probably a more Zelda-focused Nintendo press conference, whatever. But there's the new Zelda game coming out for the Wii U, and they're probably not making another 3DS one because they just came out with A Link Between Worlds. But there's the new Zelda game coming out for the Wii U that nobody really knows much about except for the Nintendo guys. And then of course there's Hyrule Warriors, or that is supposedly the name of it, coming out, where it's coming out for the Wii U, I believe sometime at the end of the summer or sometime at the end of this year generally. But it's not being developed strictly by Nintendo. It's being developed by another gaming company, but Nintendo's like kind of overseeing it, I should say. And it's called Hyrule Warriors, and it's I don't know. I don't really have very much opinion on this. I mean, I love Zelda games for the story, and as many other people do, as well as the gameplay mechanics. But this game doesn't really look like it's gonna have much of a compelling storyline because, well, it looks just like a beat 'em up game, to be honest. I mean, you see in the trailers Link doing all these super moves, taking out hundreds and hundreds of little enemies, and just attacking a whole bunch of people, which I'm not saying it's going to be a bad Zelda game, but I'm just predicting that it's not going to be one of the best Zelda games, as most Zelda games developed by other companies are not really that good compared to the ones made by Nintendo. For example, the Four Swords games and the ones for the CDI. So, those were all developed by other companies, but then again, there are good ones that are developed by other companies, such as Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 3DS and the Minish Cap. So, I don't know, I'm very weary on Hyrule Warriors, but I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the Zelda for the Wii U a lot more.
Okay. This next one's gonna probably be heavily inspired by me, like my voice talking here, because, well, I don't think Ryan really wants to talk very much about this, which is Call of Duty Modern Warfare, or Advanced Warfare, Advanced.
Yeah, Advanced.
And I'd like to talk a little bit more about it because a lot of people are saying this game is gonna be a complete blowout and bad, but I mean, I see where they're getting at here. Like, a lot of people don't think that it's a very realistic game, but if you look at it, it has a lot of modern aspects. Like, some of the things that they're using inside of that game, the military is actually working on right now. Like, their symbiotic suits. Their military is actually trying to create symbiotic suits that allow you to do certain things. Like, it'll give you Titanfall mechanics. Like, I don't know if any of you ever played Titanfall, but, I mean, I've strictly never played them, but I've watched people play them. I know you're going to get some secondhand information here. I've watched people climb up walls and do all these different things and parkour everywhere, and it looks really cool. And that was created by the creators of Call of Duty. This one's not going to be created inside the Call of Duty circle, by the way. It's going to be outside of the circle, coming in to the circle. It's usually Activision, then Treyarch, or it's going to be usually Treyarch, and I think Activision, correct?
I don't know. I'm not very big on Call of Duty, so
it's something. This one's gonna be made by Sledgehammer, basically. So it's gonna be a whole new experience on the Call of Duty. Sorry about that brief lapse of memory there. It's not gonna be made by the original creator of Call of Duty. It's gonna be made by different people, Sledgehammer, which are really doing a lot of their research to be able to make this the most realistic one yet. The suits are going to be magnetized, so you can actually run up walls. They're going to be able to make you jump higher. You can move things out of your way a lot easier now. You can do a lot of things that you couldn't do before. And it's going to make for a whole new world of gameplay. It's going to make for a whole new world of multiplayer. It's going to be really good, and it's going to be really fun, I can imagine. The guns are going to be slightly better, slightly newer. The material is going to be slightly newer. It's all going to be it's all things basically that the military is working on right now, though, which is really nice. It looks like a really good game. It has a new storyline that I'm not entirely sure would be too good, but a lot of people find it very fascinating. I won't really go too much in the storyline, though. I mean, you guys can look up the storyline yourselves. I don't find it very good. One thing, though, I do want to cover on is the fact that Call of Duty has this weird way of just showing off everything terrible about their games. We saw it inside of Ghost where they looked at the fish AI and how it would move out of your way. I've been seeing fish AI move out of my way since N64 games. I mean, it's not brand new. It's nowhere close to brand new. It's nowhere close to good. I mean, that's just a stupid way to advertise your game. I mean, that is very old, fish AI moving out of your way. That's been in so many games since I was little. Since I played N64, that's been in games. They could have marketed it by showing off a little bit of the storyline. The storyline was very dramatic. This game, they're not marketing it well again. They're showing off very bad aspects of it instead of really cool, new, amazing features, such as the symbiotic suits, climbing up the walls, parkour. you know, like really cool stuff like that. Instead, they're just showing like weird animation kills of people we don't care about, and that's supposed to be really inspiring to the storyline, but we don't know it. I mean, they don't know how to advertise very well, and that's something that they really need to learn how to do fast if they want to continue on their Call of Duty days.
Okay.
Let's move into the last thing, which is our predictions.
Predictions. So, okay. Well, I guess I'll start off with my predictions, which this is one that I actually just thought of. We don't have it written down or anything. But at the Nintendo, well, okay, this is something that I'm going to talk about briefly because I'm probably going to make a video about it in a little bit. But basically, Mario Kart 8 it just came out a few weeks ago, and it has sold millions and millions of copies, and the Wii U sales have gone up by like 600%, I believe, and it is doing really good. So I'm expecting them to show off some Mario Kart 8 downloadable content, like new levels and characters and stuff, because Nintendo would honestly be pretty dumb not to capitalize on such a big success of a game, and just to make money on it, because they're still in debt, but they're slowly coming out, so that's actually really good. And another prediction that I'm personally, well, I mean, it's almost confirmed by now, but there's been so many predictions and hints at it. Majora's Mask for the Nintendo 3DS, which would be quite an amazing thing to see, because Majora's Mask is my personal favorite Zelda game, and a lot of other people's. I know Jordan likes it too. I don't think it's his favorite, but it's
one of mine.
One of his favorites, but I mean, it's a really good game, and it's been hinted at ever since the Ocarina of Time 3D came out, and in the Link Between Worlds and Link's house, they have Majora's Mask hanging on the wall, so that's kind of like, either they're slapping you in the face and saying, this is the only Majora's Mask you're going to get on the 3DS, or there's definitely a Majora's Mask for the 3DS in development. Which, if it is in development, I could see it coming out at the end of this summer, really, because, well, the creator who's of the Ocarina of Time for the 3DS, I believe they're called Grezzo or something, they came out with Ocarina of Time for the 3DS very, very, very quick, because they just translated the game basically and onto the 3DS cartridge. So that is one thing that I am predicting. There's also been hints at an F-Zero game coming out for the Wii U, which would be really kind of cool to see, because, I mean, I personally don't like F-Zero very much. I prefer other racing games, but it would be really cool, because that means Nintendo and Sega are kind of like renewing their agreement, partnership, or whatever, which would mean, because you know what happened the first time Nintendo and Sega made a partnership was Sonic Adventure DX and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle came out for the GameCube. So if they are renewing their partnership, I could definitely see a Sonic Adventure 3 in development, because a lot of people have been asking for that game, and Sega and Nintendo would always, like, if they did it, at least make a Sonic game together, that would probably not be very smart for either of them, even though they already have they have a Sonic game under development. I forget what it's, Sonic Boom, that's what it's called. Sega already has that one under development, but I don't know. And
what else I want to talk about, and I wanted to mention this briefly. I'm a very big player of GTA. I played GTA 4 for my Street Justice. GTA 5 is getting the installments on Xbox One, PS4, and PC. So that's going to be coming out. So any of you guys that really like that, I guess you can have something there. Something that I believe has been on the rise lately, and I'm going to probably make a huge video about, is reality in gaming. Think about it now. You have the Oculus Rift now, which is still a lot of money, and it's still in a beta form, but it's going to be coming out soon. It's not too far away. You have the new TVs that are curved that are supposed to completely enhance your gameplay. It's going to make you feel like you're surrounded by the game, like you're in it. And then you have these new type of forms that are going to be coming out that's going to allow you to walk and run inside the game in real life. I mean, basically, the gaming is becoming reality. it's adding to the effects really nicely, and it's closing in. A lot of people are not very excited about this, which I can see why. You don't want to like run inside. You don't want to be a soldier. I think it's gonna be really cool. I think it'd be extremely cool, and if I ever get up enough money to buy some of these things, I'm going to definitely do that. I think that'd be just incredible. But I mean, like, for other people that just like their console gaming, I'm pretty sure that's gonna stick around, and it's probably never gonna go away. What else? Oh yeah,
consoles.
and Steam is coming out with its own console, basically.
Yeah, I don't exactly know what they are, but they're probably just gonna. There hasn't been very much released about them, but what I'm assuming they basically are is it's gonna be a console similar to that of the Xbox or PS3 or whatever, or PS4, and they will just have like Steam pre-installed on them, and you can just download games off of Steam onto the console is what I'm pretty much assuming.
Yeah.
Which would be really cool because as of recently, I've been playing most of my games and buying most of my games off of Steam for my PC, which would be really cool to see them actually have a console, because Steam is actually, it's like Netflix basically for video games, except you can actually buy them, and it's really, really pretty cool.
So, yeah. I guess that's our discussion on E3.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add, Rye?
One thing I didn't talk about is, I'm just gonna say this really quick. I believe that there are gonna be more HD remakes of GameCube games for the Wii U, because they already have like the systems or whatever to transfer a GameCube game into a Wii U game like they did with Wind Waker. So I'm just assuming there are gonna be more HD remakes. But,
I can see that happening.
But that's basically all I have to say.
Oh, and another thing that wasn't announced really for E3, I'm just going to add as a little spoiler here in the end. Demon Souls 2 was announced. It's been announced for a little bit now, and it's under development. And Ryan does not like Dark Souls or Demon Souls. I love Dark Souls and Demon Souls, so this is a very big thing for me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I guess that's about it. Let's close it up, I guess.
Okay, leave down in the comments what you're most excited for E3, and if you liked this video, leave a like and subscribe to both of our channels. It's basically all I have to say. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I guess we'll see you all next time.
Peace.